In Part 6, Chapter 1 of Crime and Punishment, Raskolnikov wanders the city for several days in a mental fog, wondering what Svidrigailov will do. Seeing him at Sonia's boarding house, Svidrigailov suggests they talk soon, advising him that what all men need is fresh air, more than anything. Also, Svidrigailov has actually succeeded in helping Katerina Ivanovna's children, as he promised. However, Raskolnikov fears Sonia has been repulsed by his confession, but he's startled when, at Katerina Ivanovna's memorial service, Sonia holds his hands and leans on his shoulder. Finally, he decides to confront either Porfiry or Svidrigailov. He sleeps off a fever, missing Katerina Ivanovna's funeral, but he wakes up feeling much better. Razumikhin arrives, angry at Raskolnikov. He thinks that only a madman would treat his family the way Raskolnikov has treated Dunya and Pulcheria. His mother is sick with grief and thinks Raskolnikov has abandoned her for Sonia. After checking at Sonia's, Razumikhin realizes this is not true. He tells Raskolnikov he knows he has some kind of secret. Raskolnikov tells Razumikhin that Dunya knows he loves her, and she probably loves Razumikhin too. He mentions that Dunya received an upsetting letter. He also mentions that Porfiry has told him Nikolai confessed to the murders. Thrilled at the news about Dunya's possible love for him, Razumikhin leaves. Raskolnikov wonders what to do next, just as Porfiry unexpectedly arrives. In Part 6, Chapter 2 of Crime and Punishment, Porfiry says he will speak sincerely this time, with no gimmicks. Porfiry says he suspected Raskolnikov in part because of his article. He detected Raskolnikov's pride in his own ideas and suspected he might act on them. He also saw through Raskolnikov's attempts to cover his guilt. Porfiry admits to his many strategies to get Raskolnikov to confess. He did search Raskolnikov's room, manipulated Razumikhin into sharing information with Raskolnikov about the case, and got a hold of that man who called Raskolnikov a murderer. Porfiry's case against Raskolnikov is essentially based on psychological speculation alone. Porfiry describes Nikolai as immature and easily influenced, a fervent member of a religious group that believes in embracing suffering. Porfiry expects Nikolai to change his mind and retract his confession at any moment. Porfiry states that he knows Raskolnikov is the killer. Raskolnikov, shocked, denies it. Porfiry cannot prove his conclusions. He admits that arresting Raskolnikov could make Porfiry look bad, but he won't even encourage Raskolnikov to confess. Porfiry proposes Raskolnikov confess of his own free will, which may lessen his sentence, and that Raskolnikov could go on to live a good life. Porfiry encourages him not to waste the rest of his life, that God may have a plan for him. He knows Raskolnikov will not run away. Porfiry gives him 2 days to confess, and then he will arrest him. If Raskolnikov decides to kill himself, Porfiry asks him to please leave a note confessing and sharing where he hid the stolen items.